Did you know that if you are from Colombia, Peru, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Uruguay, or Venezuela, you can study English courses, undergraduate courses, or postgraduate university courses in Malta without applying for a visa before arriving? Well, if you want to know more about this live stream is for you. And I want to welcome you to our live stream study in Malta with London School of Commerce. My name is Hugo Bustamante. I'm recruitment manager for Global Studies. Global Studies is an educational agency which helps you to apply to different destinations in the world. You can find us in our webpage that you have here. You have here our email address, our WhatsApp number, and you can contact us to ask for your free guidance session if you are interested in know more about the possibilities you have abroad to study in different destinations. Don't forget to follow us in our social media. You can find us as Global Studies UK in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you will find more about the different offers we have, the different destinations that you can can take as an option to go to study. So contact us. And now we are with Vishal Sharma. He's International Development Officer of London School of Commerce. Hi, Vishal. How are you?
Hi, Hugo. I'm good. How about you?
Fine, Vishal. Thank you. It is a pleasure to have you here with us to talk us about the different options that LSC has in Malta to offer the students.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I hope to provide as much of information as possible. So if any student has any sort of questions, we'll try to answer as much as we can right now. Of course, if there are more questions, you are there.
Yes. Vishal, I have a short video that you sent us and that I want to share with our audience, please.
Please go ahead.
I would like to extend a warm welcome to you. Together, we look forward in supporting you in learning and improving the level of your English language and academic skills.
Here at the London School of Commerce in Malta, we have a very vibrant and exciting English language department. We aim to help all the students who need academic English at many levels to be able to continue to some form of higher education or professional qualification.
My name is Afarin and I come from Iran. I spent a lot of time, enjoyable times in Malta. There are many historical places, and one of the important experience is that go on the beach because the atmosphere is so exciting and so beautiful. And I think the Malta is so cosmopolitan, from Italy, from French and other foreign country, and I think everyone should come here because they can have an amazing time.
Hello, I'm Zakaria from Algeria. I came to Malta to learn English. Then I moved on to MBA. Now I'm doing my major project. Well, what I like about Malta is that everyone is friendly, easygoing, and even here at school you can meet people from everywhere. You can have new friends easily.
I'm a teacher here at the London School of Commerce in Malta. I'm Canadian, and like some of my fellow teachers who are also native English speakers, that's one of the things that the students love about LSC, is that they get to listen to English in different accents in class. Apart from that, on this island in Malta, we are blessed with the sun and the sea, which is a bonus because students get to come here and also have fun.
I decided to study a combined program at LSC Malta, English plus MBA, because of the competitive fees and the academic high level of the school, and also because in the island I can share with foreign people, practice my English, and enjoy different places.
I'm Professor Malcolm Bennison. I'm privileged to be the principal. The London School of Commerce is a global education provider. We have campuses in Malaysia, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, in India, in London, and here in Malta.
Official, that is a short introduction, and it is important to say that if you are from Latin America and are part of the countries listed before and that you have here in the screen, you can enter Malta only by showing your study enrollment accommodation and financial maintenance upon your arrival, and then make an appointment to get the study visa with work rights during the duration of your course. Remember that LSC Malta has great options to study in Malta, and where you have the right to work part-time while you are doing your studies. And that is what Michel is going to talk about today. He's going to show us the different options that LSC London School of Commerce has to offer us in Malta.
Right.
Please, Michel.
So everybody who's planning to obviously apply and move to Malta, as Hugo rightly mentioned, if you belong to one of the Latin American countries which are on the list of the European government, you can go to Malta as quick as like tomorrow. So that saves you and cuts down a lot of red tape. You know, usually when you're applying for the visa, you don't know what's happening. You showed the bank statement, you have to pay so much money to so many people, and you still don't know when are you going to fly to your dream education destination. Well, in Malta, that's the plus point for you. You could just take an offer and you could fly as quick as tomorrow. And while you're there, you can, after you finish your 4-month English or 6-month English program, well, even in the presentation, people must have seen Natalia from Colombia. She went for English plus MBA, right? Now, I presume like she must have gone initially to study English, and once she finishes the 4-month English or 8 months, 6 months, tailored to whatever students desire, students, whenever you feel as a student that, hey, after 4 months, my English level is good enough and I can pass the IELTS and stuff, you could pass the IELTS internally in Malta, so you don't have to go back to your native country. And you can even cut your course down shorter. That potentially would help you to start your master's program quicker if you want to. If not, then you can study as much as 1 year of English plus 1 year of MBA. So for 2 years, you have to stay in Malta. The fee structures are very competitive. You are going to see that in the next couple of slides. I can definitely take pride in saying that I think we have potentially the most affordable fee structures in Malta for Latin American students. And yeah, if you have any sort of questions, as I previously mentioned, please get in touch and we will try to solve any of your questions and doubts. Now, to begin with, the campus in Malta is based in the capital city of Malta, which is in Valletta. In the photo that you can see on the slide, that's how the campus looks. And moving on to the next slide about why you think Malta should be your destination. Now, potentially, this is where Malta is. If you can see on the screen, it's between, it's right at the foot of Italy. So the Mediterranean island where people obviously try to spend a lot of money and go and travel just to see it once in a lifetime. You're going to be living in that area for the next 1 year, 2 year foreseeable future of your time. You're not only going to enjoy the location with crystal blue waters and stuff, but you're also going to educate yourself and get a recognized British education. So you get the best of the both worlds. I mean, compared to coming in London and having a gloomy weather where it rains all the time, you are going to be enjoying on an island city like Malta and still have the recognized British education under the banner of London School of Commerce. As I previously mentioned, the fee structures are quite competitive. And if any sort of, if students have any sort of accolades in your host country, in your home country, please let us know. Potentially we could provide some sort of scholarship. I can't promise, but if you are excellent in academics and stuff, we can potentially try. The faculty which teaches Malta at the Malta campus are quite famous and quite renowned in the academic circuit. Now, these are professors who have given lectures not only in the UK, but they have given lectures in campuses in Armenia, a campus in India, a campus in Serbia, and these are internationally renowned faculties. And you can definitely check their Facebook pages and stuff, and you would see thousands and thousands of students are in touch with them. And it will be amazing to be a part of that alumni circuit as well, because we have a pool of students, and it's like a business network group structure that you could possibly speak to other students as well. The modern campus in Valletta is quite very well organized. We do provide all the basic necessities for students to grow academically and improve their prowess. We have a state-of-the-art computer labs where if you want to do some sort of a research, we have computers available for you. We have teaching assistants available for you. So if you feel you're coming from a non-English speaking background and you need more support from us, we would be able to provide you more support free of cost after your lectures are over, but just by our teaching assistant program. We do have obviously the library. You could have, with different shelves of books ranging from different backgrounds and sectors or genres, and you can try to educate yourself on self-study mode out there or do your research. We do have online portals as well. So students who don't like to go and sit in a library and you like to do your own research by yourself, listening to your music at home, of course, you can visit the online libraries. We have access to over 70,000 learning materials. You can access ebooks. You can access journals, scholastic articles, and various other news editions and stuff like that. So all in all, Malta does not only give you a safe sanctuary mentally, but it also improves you academically and prepares you for the future. So yeah, I love it. I love it. Now, for students coming in from Latin America, I'm pretty much sure like everybody has got a good level of English, but there's still English is not the first language. So sometimes people are scared. Sometimes you lack confidence. But then in such a scenario, you can always study a 4-month English program if you want to. Just to come at par, because now you're going to be living outside Latin America. So you will have to talk to everybody in English, to buy things as small as going to a shopping center to buy, I don't know, a bottle of water for yourself. So your level of English is going to improve. So bear that in mind. You don't need to worry at all. At Malta, we have a 4-month English program. We have an 8-month and 12-month English program. However, if you feel that you need a 6-month and a 10-month program or something, we can tailor the program accordingly. For fee structures for those kind of tailored programs, please get in touch with us. The requirement for an English course is pretty minimal. Students should demonstrate a desire to study and learn and improve their English and have some sort of a logic on why they want to improve English. And I think because bear in mind, we are preparing the students for their masters or for their bachelors. So if at all we have to teach you A for apple and B for ball, it's very, very low. But as far as you know, a couple of basic words, a basic vocabulary and stuff, that's good enough for you to communicate, and that's good enough for you to get onto the program. If at all you have given an IELTS exam or any sort of English exam, please provide us the certificates, and so we can see what is your grade at the moment and where do you stand right now, really. If at all your IELTS band is 4, for example, then we would be able to tell you like, hey, you might need about 6 months of English or 1 year of English. If your IELTS band is 4.5, we would be like, oh, okay, after interviewing you, we would be in a position to predict that potentially you would need 6 more months outside your comfort zone, outside Latin America. You possibly can take 4.5 to 5.5 in an environment where everybody around you speaks in English all the time. And so we would possibly recommend you to study 6 month English. But then if you still feel 6 months is not good enough for you, you could always go for 8 months. So that's not really a problem. In terms of English program, as it is not an academic program, it's an English, it's a skill-based program. You only have to provide your passport. However, if you have studied a baccalaureate or a high school or a bachelor's, please provide that education as well. So when you're applying for the course, the academic team or the admission team that checks your documents also can see your grades and stuff, and potentially that is always going to be helpful for you. So that's for the English program. Moving on to the next program, which is Bachelor's in Business Studies. This is a 3-year program. So starting in, obviously we have next intake in June and then we have October, but I think we're a little late for June, but October should be your target intake really. The fee is €11,950, not for 1 year, it is for the entire 3 years. So that is a fee structure which I was talking about initially, that these fee structures are very much designed to attract the right students for us. At LSC, I think the CEO and the school was formed initially with a vision, and the vision was not to attract people who are coming from rich families, and the vision was not to make money. The vision was more to attract people who are fierce, coming from middle class backgrounds, and want to prove and want to change the things. And so everybody understands, we do acknowledge that financially it might be a very big task for a candidate with a lot of dreams, and sometimes parents might not be able to support. So here the base or the bottom line is we are trying to attract the right talent and the right students, and not trying to make a lot of money. 11,950 is the tuition fee, which I feel is quite affordable for anybody from any part of the world. And the awarding body is going to be with University of Suffolk. After you finish your bachelor's, you have a British degree, and you do qualify to study masters if you wish to at any part of the world. The degrees will be recognized throughout the world, so you don't need to worry about the value or the accreditation of the degree. You can just do it without any sort of stress of that level. The requirement for bachelor's program is slightly higher than what you have seen on an English program. Students applying for bachelor's must have a high school, or as we call in the UK, as an A-level degree or A-level diploma. I think in Latin America, I would say the requirement would be a baccalaureate or a high school. So that's the academic requirement. Because you're going to be studying in English, you need to provide, and the teaching medium in the class and everything is in English, you must have an IELTS. And the IELTS or the English requirement is B2, which is about 5.5 band in IELTS. Students must be at least 18 years of age. And I think that sums up the entire requirement set of the bachelor's program. Now, along with bachelor's, we do have financial accounting as well. A lot of students have a lot of queries that they want to get into finance and accounting, as this is potentially one of those sectors which is linked as a recession-free sector. I mean, no matter if you become an accountant or something, or an investment banker, no matter what happens in the world, you will always have a job. And everybody wants to know, and till the time money is the king, this is the best sector to invest in. So BSc Financial Accounting is another bachelor's level program that we are running. The requirements to enter this program are quite similar to the one in Bachelor's in Business. You must be 18 years of age, you must have a baccalaureate or a high school, and you must present IELTS requirement of minimum 5.5 or B2 skills. However, the difference over here is the awarding body is not University of Suffolk. The awarding body here is London School of Commerce, Malta itself. Now, this is our flagship project, and this is the first program that LSC Malta has gotten accreditation to run on its own. The degree that you're going to get is recognized by the Maltese government and is recognized throughout the world, and it gives you the same liberty to do your masters in the UK, or wherever you would like to do it. However, the best thing about this is the course fee structure is much subsidized than the previous program that I showed. The fee over here is 9,950 euros. It's a 3-year program, and the next intake is going to be October. Now, after that, we have an MBA, which is a master's level. So usually people who have a bachelor's qualify to study masters. So if our students from LSC Malta have completed their bachelor's in business, they can proceed to study MBA. In fact, even the students who have completed BSc Finance and Accounting do qualify to study MBA. So MBA is a program where you know more about, you become the master of business administration. Now, any organization that is running a business of any sort needs certain wings. They need a marketing team. If you're running a company, you need a marketing team. You need a finance team, and you also need a manager. So a lot of students study MSc, which is like Masters in Science, and they are having a lot of in-depth knowledge of the particular sector. But Masters of Business Administration gives you a managerial position, so you can overview multiple sectors and you know bits and bobs about every sector. So this is a program which can definitely provide you in a position where you can apply for a managerial position or a designation in the future. MBA is only a 1-year program. The course fee for this course is about 6,950 euros. The awarding body is going to be University of Suffolk. The requirement, as I mentioned, is bachelor's. Over here, the age limit is 21 years as a minimum threshold. You must be at least 21 years of age to apply for an MBA. The English requirement to get into direct MBA program is about B2, and as I mentioned, for bachelor's or for MBA, if at all you feel your English language is it's needing some sort of a improvement, you can always apply for English plus MBA, English plus bachelor's with LSC Malta. Now, with regards to admission, Flo, to understand the system, how can you get admission? Where do you start? So many questions, right? So you should try to start preparing your files. Now, you could, I'll mention my email over there, but I would recommend everybody to drop emails to Hugo or to Global Studies, because Global Studies would be in a much better position to explain things to you. They have a lot of Spanish speakers, and they can provide one-to-one counseling session with each student. You must be having so many questions and doubts. So sometimes for me, it would be extremely difficult to explain everything to you in detail, but you would be in perfect pair of hands if you're explaining things to Thais, to Juan, to Hugo, to Karen in global studies. And trust me, they will be looking after you like their own child. Okay, I've seen this happening for the last 5-6 years, or even more, that I've been working with global studies. And by the time the file comes to me, the students are aware of everything, and they spend hours and hours to answer all your questions. So I would prefer you speaking to Hugo and global studies first. They will help you how to prepare the file. They will help you what documents are required to get you admission. They will help you to understand the whole admission flow again, and they will prepare the whole file and send it over to me. Now, once the files are received at my end, I'm going to get your interview. So the students are going to be interviewed by Skype or over the telephone, depending on what sort of program the students are applying for. During the interview, the students will be asked a certain set of questions just to figure out if the students have the desire which is required to not only start the course, but also to complete the course. Because as I mentioned, it's not about getting the students. It's about getting the right students, which is of prime impetus for LSC. So the interview process can be a bit rigorous. During the interview, a couple of other questions are asked, like, what's your background? They might ask you to introduce yourself, so you have to talk about yourself. During the interview, interviewer might ask you, why specifically this course? You have to share your desire, your dream. You can be completely open and transparent about your current situation in life if you're comfortable about it, right? And try to speak with as much as honesty as possible. And based on that, the interviewer is going to accept or reject the file. I mean, and this is purely the reason why I'm saying to have a word with global studies first, because they're not only going to help you in the paperwork, but they'll also help you in preparing for the interview, which is, again, a very important step in your admission process. Now, once the interview is successful, we will be providing you with an offer letter. The offer letter would mention everything. The offer letter would mention the duration of the course, awarding body, the name of the course you're applying for, the tuition fee. If you got any scholarship or bursary or discount, we will mention that on the offer letter as well. In some cases, where students don't have an IELTS or students don't have a final transcript of their bachelor's, we can still interview the students, but then on the offer letter, we will write the offer is valid, but there are some conditions for the offer letter to be valid. The condition is you need to have an IELTS, or you need to study English, or you need to present your final bachelor's degree and stuff like that. You need to make a tuition fee payment. So once the offer letter is given and all the conditions are met, your application becomes unconditional. Only thing like your tuition fee payment and all the necessary documents are provided. Now the next step from that point on is either your visa application, or as the Latin American country students are required. I mean, y'all can plan your trip to Malta. Now, during your trip, which is planned to Malta, if at all you can find accommodation by yourself, amazing. If you can't find accommodation and you need help, again, one point contact, global studies. Have a word with them. They're going to liaise with me, and we're going to try to figure out your budget. So if at all you say, okay, your budget is X amount, we'll try to find you a housing or an accommodation with that price, in that price range. For more information, like what are the costs of living and everything in Malta, again, all of these things can be discussed. Whatever questions you have, please feel free to ask. Bear in mind, no question is bad. The only question which is bad is the one you did not ask. Okay, you need to be very relaxed, ask every question that you can, and we are all here to help you. Now, after the fee payment and everything is done and you move to Malta and your accommodation is sorted and everything, you get to the airport, the immigration might ask you for an offer letter or a fee payment receipt, or what is your plan and everything. So you can present the documents without any sort of hesitation, because it's fairly the right thing to do. You come out of the airport, you get to the school or your accommodation, you relax, you go to the school the next day, you register yourself that, hey, I'm in Malta already. Latin American students can stay up to 6 months, and so if you need to apply for a longer stay and stuff, you can apply for a visa within Malta. The visa requirements would be explained, and so try to use those documents, and you can apply for the visas internally. The visa team in Malta is a team which is purely designated to help every student with the visas. So if you feel that global studies is helping you while you're in Latin America, what will happen to you when you move to Malta? Don't worry, we have a visa team. Okay, you are completely looked after, not only right now when you have questions and doubts, but also after you get to Malta and throughout the program, throughout the time that you complete your whole studies and get your degree. Okay, so as I'm re-stressing, don't be afraid to ask questions. We're all here to help you. Now, if at all anybody has any sort of questions, definitely you can feel free to ask.
Thank you, Michelle, for all this explanation that is really clear and helpful for all the people that is interested in taking this option to study in Malta with LSC. And yes, we have some questions, please. Could you please remember the audience when are the next intakes for 2023 and 2024?
Right. So in LSC Malta, we do have intakes which are every alternative month. We do have an intake in June. After June, we have an intake in October. After the October intake is done, I reckon we will still run a November intake. So students who missed October can get into November. After that, we will have Feb 2024, and so on. So we'll have Feb, we'll have April, we'll have June, we'll have October, November, and January.
Oh, that's good. People have many options to start the study with LSC.
Correct, yeah.
That's really important. We have another question, please, Vishal. What are the exams accepted for applying to the university undergraduate and postgraduate courses?
In terms of academic degrees and certificates that people have from Latin America, you must have a high school and everything, which is from a recognized college. Now, because it's done in a British education system, we may check things based on NARIC. So NARIC will not only compare the education, but NARIC also has a list of institutions which are approved by the government. And as far as the students have studied in those lists and those universities or have those degrees, it should not be a problem. With regards to the IELTS, like English test, students can study, IELTS at this point of time, and students can have City and Gales B2. We are trying to discuss if at all Duolingo can be taken into consideration. So we are still in the process of discussion if Duolingo can be taken into consideration. But as I mentioned, students can even go to Malta without any IELTS now. Once they're in Malta, they can do the English courses and stuff, and they have 6 months or the tenure or the duration while they're in there to book the test, to prepare for the test, and to give the test. So I think it should be covering up the whole thing.
Thank you, Vishal. Another question says, how easy is to get the accommodation options in Malta? How long in advance we need to book?
The accommodations are, it is more in the lines of, if students give us the budget, we do have certain accommodations fulfilling the budget. So I can try to provide you with the links of, okay, so we have this place, that place, and stuff, and students can look into the links and choose one, whatever they would like to do. We do have single rooms where the students can have their own rooms. We have studios where the students can have their own studio with their own kitchen, with their own toilet in there, or bathroom rather, and we have shared accommodation as well. So depending on what is the budget of the student, we will be providing the information according to that. How easy it is substantially, easy, I would say, because we do have a team in Malta that is dedicated purely for accommodations, and that team is linked with a lot of realtors or estate agents in Malta. So as soon as you have a student who has a tentative time, like, hey, I'm going to be there in October 2023, and my arrival time is 15th of October, let's say. So the team is going to start spreading the news across with all the realtors in Malta that is linked with the team. And these realtors will provide information of the accommodations that they have, which are available. And those links are then going to be forwarded to you all, and you can just show it to the student. Out of them, whatever the student chooses, you can relay the information back. We're going to book it, provide you with the paperwork that the accommodation is sorted, and then the students can completely travel relaxed.
Thank you, Vishal. And we have another question. It says, can students travel in Europe with the student visa they have issued in Malta, as Malta is part of EU? Would that be possible?
Yes, because Malta is a part of EU, students can travel within Europe. So again, this is the best part about Malta. You know, it's not just the place that you're living in. It's a journey of a lifetime. You know, you can have a Euro trip, you can have education for a weekend. Perhaps from Malta, you can travel to Italy and take one country on your passport. Come back to Malta. You want to go to Spain? Travel to Spain. Come back after next weekend. Take the second country of your passport. So a lot of students and a lot of, it's these days it's like a human desire to travel and see the world, which is the right thing to do. And usually students get stuck or landlocked when they come to the UK or when they go to the USA or when they go to Australia. They can't see majority of the places because everything is so expensive and difficult. We all have been a student and we know how financially students are tight. But bear in mind, the air tickets could be as cheap as 50 euros, you know. Students can go from Malta to Italy and come back in 50 euros. And accommodations and stuff are obviously still very, people can have bed and breakfast. So as a student, you know, you can just go enjoy the place, come back. So that's another a positive feature to study in Malta.
Thank you, Vishal. And please, could you tell us about the fees that the students need to pay before getting the visa letter? How much would be the fees?
Right. So for master's and for bachelor's program, the minimal deposit is going to be 4,950 euros, about 5,000 euros. For the English program, the students have to pay the full fee because the fee structures are quite low. As you know, that the 4-month English program is as low as 2,000 euro. So it's you know, so anything less than 4,950, I would say students have to pay the full fee. Anything higher than 4,950, students can pay 4,950 as the minimal deposit, and the rest can be paid by 2 installments or 3.
Thank you, Vishal. And another question is about, for example, what tips do you recommend for applicants taking the interview?
Right. During the interview, usually the applicants are very scared, I feel. So I would suggest everybody to understand that you know, a school wants students. Okay, the school wants you as much as you want the school, right? So the only thing which can go sideways is if, for example, if you're talking to the school and you get to know the school is not good enough, you wouldn't want to study in that school. Similarly, if the interviewer from a school gets to know that you're not good enough, that is a problem. So I would suggest everybody to first of all be relaxed. Try not to be very scared during the interview. I would suggest the best way to not be scared is to know about things. Sometimes people are scared because they don't know answers for the questions which are asked out of the blue. So maybe prepare yourself for how to introduce yourself. That should be your question number one. Like if someone is asking, so Pablo, tell me something about yourself. Pablo should be in a position to say, hi, my name is Pablo Rodriguez. I'm from Colombia. I did my high school, and in future I want to study bachelor's in business because I want to start my own business, which is whatever business idea Pablo has. Like this, you coming across as a very confident person, and it's a good way to start a conversation. So always prepare yourself on how to introduce yourself. After that, they might ask you about, have you gone through the course? Do you know what we teach on this course? So maybe go through the course, read about the subjects, what the course is teaching. Try to not just read, but try to understand what those subjects are. Maybe try to link it with your dream in life. For example, if Pablo wants to start his own restaurant and Pablo doesn't know how to do marketing. These days, for instance, if I travel to Bolivia, for example, tomorrow, and I feel like I want to have Chinese food, I'm going to Google Chinese food near me. So maybe the Chinese food near me is not the best restaurant in the entire Bolivia. Maybe it's the worst one, but that person is going to take my money because they did the marketing right, So marketing is a very important thing. So during the interview is asking you questions like, why have you chosen this course? You could potentially say like, oh, marketing, I'm going to learn marketing in this, and I cannot run my restaurant without marketing. I need to know that. So you come across not just as confident in your introduction, but now you also come across as someone who knows what they're doing. Also, it's a big investment from your family side. You're carrying a lot of dreams for your father and for your mother and stuff. So I think in all of these preparations, they will take only one day. So I think, sit down with a notepad, pen, start writing down, convince yourself why this course is important for you. And if you are convinced, you can convince anybody. You should know the course fee, you should know what kind of jobs you're going to get after you finish the course. So don't come for an MBA program and say you want to become a doctor, stuff like that. So yeah, these are my certain tips.
Thank you, Vishal. And please, the last question. And it says, how many hours per week the students have to attend classes? Please.
Right. So the legal requirement in the UK is 15 to 21 hours a week. Because we are running the programs in Malta as well, as per the accreditation of the British government, we do try to follow both the regulations, which are based in Malta and the UK. So potentially the students will have lectures between 15 and 21 hours in a week. It could be 2 days a week, it could be 3 days a week. It depends on how many hours you're clocking in. You could have 5-hour lecture 3 days a week, or you could have 4-hour lecture 4 days a week. Or you could have longer sessions. So the timetables may differ, how many days or what time to what time, but the core principle of the timetable will be 15 to 21 hours a week. It's not going to be on Saturday and Sunday. So Monday to Friday, 15 to 21 hours a week.
Thank you, Vishal. Well, thank you for your help with these questions. And to all the students, as Vishal said, please contact us if you're interested in applying to LSC Malta, and we will be pleased to help you. We are ready to help you in this process, and Vishal will be helping us to start this new step, to give this new step in your life. So don't forget if you are from Colombia, Peru, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Uruguay, or Venezuela, you can apply to study in Malta with your university offer and on arrival, sort the visa. Contact us now and apply to study in a European country at affordable prices. Thank you to all the audience for being with us today. Thank you, Vishal, for all this information and for helping us. We hope to have you, all of you, and you, Vishal, in another event with us. Thank you.
Right, thank you for having me, Hugo. It's always lovely to catch up.
Okay. A pleasure, Vishal. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.